gosh.
Helpful for life.
All right, today we're gonna make a classic. I don't know if it's American or not, but it's definitely very popular in America. And that's good old mac and cheese, or macaroni and cheese, for those who like the full version. So I've got a pot of water here at a rolling boil, and a couple of tips to help your water boil faster. One, use a lid. It'll boil faster because it keeps all that heat in there. Two, if you're really in a hurry, use multiple heat sources. You can put on 2 separate smaller pots. You can microwave some. If you have an electric kettle, you can use that. All of those are things you can do if you're in a bit of a hurry. And also, some other fun fact is that you don't necessarily need to bring your water to a complete boil for the pasta to cook. Now, if it's your first time cooking pasta, follow the directions, use boiling water, just follow it on the box. But there have been people who have shown that you can cook with less water and it doesn't even necessarily have to come to a boil. You can Google that if you're interested, but just a little fun fact for you. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my pasta in here. This says it's gonna take about 9 to 11 minutes. This should be roughly how long our cheese will take, we'll see. Careful with the dripping water. The nice thing is this is already clean because it's just hot water, sanitized. Okay, so the first thing you want to do after you've got your water boiling, you're going to want to give it some nice, healthy pinches of salt.
It's a couple of tablespoons for every 4 quarts. So usually in a regular sized pot, you're going to have somewhere between 2 and 3 tablespoons. But you can just do like I did and add a couple of healthy pinches. After you salt it, it may stop boiling, so give it a couple of seconds to come back to boil. Then you're going to dump in your noodles. And you're going to want to give those a stir. So the reason you want to give that a stir is because there's starch in the pasta, and you're going to stir it a couple of times in the first few minutes to help prevent all that pasta from sticking together because of that starch. So stir it when you first put it in there, and after 30 seconds or so, you'll want to stir it again. And then after the first couple minutes, you should be fine. Oh, let me stir this real quick. Be careful if you use metal in the nonstick pan. Make sure you don't scrape the bottom, or better yet, don't use metal at all. Some other facts for you about pasta. If you're going to be cooking spaghetti or some kind of the longer pasta, it may stick out of the water at first, but that's fine. After 30 seconds or a minute, it'll soften up a little bit and drop down. Again, you want to stir that. But if you want, you can also just break the pasta into 2. Just take your hands like this and break it. The only downside of that is you may not get as good of a twirl when you're putting it on your fork. But that's pretty much the only downside. So with the pasta, you can set a timer based on the box, but what you're looking for is a nice al dente, which means to the tooth in Italian. And what you can do is, well, that's the best way to know if it's done, is take a couple pieces out, make sure to blow on it to cool it down. And you want it to have a little bit of a bite. So you want it to be chewy, but you want it to have a little bit of a bite. So it's getting close. Yeah, that's pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn that off. I'm gonna drain it because it'll still cook in that hot water. It's a little hot, so let me grab a couple of pot holders real quick. Oh no. I'm gonna grab another pot holder. Then drain the pasta into a colander over the sink. Now the pasta is ready for the sauce.